Hey, what's going on, Soulmates? Soulkeeper Comics Media and Memorabilia here, and I want to hit you guys up with some thoughts about the new 20th anniversary Marvel Legends Iron Man figure based on the old Toy Biz figures from Series 1 that Hasbro revealed on their PulseCon stream. And I think that this figure is a real lazy example of Hasbro's work. This is the same Iron Man figure that Hasbro has been releasing time and time again, repaint after repaint, and they haven't done anything with this figure other than give it a new head sculpt that's based off the old variant from Series 1 of Toy Biz's Marvel Legends, the horned Iron Man with the gold paint job. If they're going to release a figure as a tribute to the original figure that Toy Biz did back in 2002, shouldn't the more recent figure be better than the old one? Well, it's not. All this 20th anniversary Iron Man has going for it is that it has ab articulation, and that's about it, because the original Iron Man from 2002 beats this one all day long. And if Hasbro really wants to release quote-unquote horned Iron Man, aka Proto Classic Iron Man, then we really have to get into the topic of accuracy. And now we go back to the comic books drawn by Steve Ditko, where he created the Proto Classic armor. How accurate is this figure to Steve Ditko's art? And the answer is kind of, sort of, but not really. And if you look at Iron Man's upper chest on this figure, you can see that there's no details on his upper chest to indicate all the different plates of armor that are present on Steve Ditko's art. The figure does have a sort of belt that's depicted in the art, but it doesn't have that yellow rectangle on the front as it should be. And on the chest piece that Iron Man has, his arc reactor has a sort of fade effect on the paint job there, whereas on Steve Ditko's art it's depicted as yellow, and there should be an indentation around the ridges on the arc reactor. Not only that, but there are plugs on this figure that are indicative of the later design of the costume, whereas the plugs on the Proto Classic armor should be down lower next to the arc reactor. Additionally, we should be able to see inside Iron Man's faceplate where his eyes are visible, because that's how the character was drawn back in the early 60s. On Steve Ditko's art, the ridges do not go all the way up and down the gloves. They stop at the wrist, and then the hand is smooth, but there's a plate that goes across the top of Iron Man's hand and covers his knuckles, and there's knuckle details that are visible. It acts as a sort of brass knuckle almost for Iron Man. They're copying and pasting a figure they already made, whipping up a new head, saying good enough, and then charging $32 for it, because that's what this figure cost. It cost $32, and it's just like the Captain America figure they just announced, but even more so. This is not worth $32. Wait for it to go on sale, wait for it to be liquidated, then think about purchasing it if you decide to purchase it at all. If I paid $20 for this, I would feel ripped off still. The extra Tony Stark head they included here is nice. It very much looks like Tony Stark from the comics of that era, and I appreciate that. And the Proto Classic Iron Man head that they did is okay. It's not outstanding, but it's okay. But it's not enough here, and it really doesn't stack up. And if all that wasn't enough, we've also got these Repulsor Blasts, and they are also inaccurate to the Repulsor Blasts of the era. Around that time, Repulsor Blasts were depicted in yellow and reddish colors. If you support what I do, please click subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video of mine when it comes out. And if you want to hang out with me and my soulmates, I stream live on Twitch Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So having blue Repulsor rays here with Iron Man is another indication that the people working on this didn't know what they were doing, they never bothered to look, they didn't care. And again, I have to say that the people over at Hasbro have access to the entire archives of Marvel. There's no reason they shouldn't know what they're doing when they're making a figure like this. Why there's a smoke effect on these, I don't know. It doesn't really belong here on this particular Iron Man from this era, but here it is. And additionally, the base looks terrible, just like Captain America's does. I remember those bases, I have those bases. They were plastic bases, they were well detailed, they felt good. This looks cheap. It looks like a chocolate bar with cardboard attached. because that's what it is. It's just cardboard tacked onto a lousy plastic base that looks very cheap, and a complete disappointment compared to the plastic satellite base we got with the original Toy Biz Iron Man, which was a very cool addition. With those figures, you could take Iron Man, pose him on a satellite like he's flying through space, and it looked awesome. And you could take Captain America, pose him on his base, make it look like he's in the battlefield, just after fighting some kind of battle during World War II, and it looked very cool. This looks cheap, it feels cheap, and it's overpriced all to hell. $32, no thank you. I wouldn't even buy it if it was on sale. It's no good. The only good thing about this figure is that it has a Tony Stark head that looks like he did in the comics. That's literally the only thing good about it. I could really care less about the packaging on these figures that's supposed to be some kind of homage to the original Toy Biz figures, but I look at it and it just feels like a complete disgrace compared to what Toy Biz used to do. Toy Biz wasn't always perfect, not by a long shot, but their Iron Man figures were better than this. And you know what else? When they released a Marvel Legend, at least they tried. They weren't always good, some of them were pretty bad, but they were also priced accordingly. They weren't that expensive. Because these particular figures are supposed to be honoring the 20th anniversary of the Marvel Legends line, we are going to see 2 more figures released. One is Hulk, the other is Toad. I know Toad seems strange, but he was in the original Marvel Legends line, and I hope that at least they improve on that figure, because they certainly didn't improve on Iron Man here. But Toad, that's a real easy one to improve on. They should be able to hack it with their resources, and I hope that they can. Of course, we all know that he's going to be $32 too. Really can't wait to see the cardboard picture of water that's going to be included with him. Well, Soulmates, what do you think of this 20th anniversary Iron Man figure? Do you like it? Do you think that it's a disappointment like I do, with a lot of inaccuracies? Are you on the fence about this one? Do you think you're going to buy it, maybe skip it? I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you about it and see what you think. If you support what I do, please click subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video of mine when it comes out. And if you want to hang out with me and my soulmates, I stream live on Twitch Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be back again soon with some more thoughts about new comic book toy news, and until then, with love from me to you, bye-bye.